Hey folks, welcome to Notes Cloud by DY, your go-to channel for educational content, coding tutorials and project showcases. Today we are continuing with our GitHub playlist, and in this video we will be exploring the essential GitHub workflow for managing and committing code changes efficiently. We will first go through a short presentation that outlines the key steps in the GitHub work process, followed by a live demonstration where I will be showing you exact how to add, commit and push files to GitHub. Stick around till the end, and by the time you are done, you will be confident in using git command for your projects. Alright, let's get started with the presentation. Here are the Git workflow that every developer should be familiar with. Whether you are working on a solo project or collaborating with others, this process ensures that your code is always backed up and that changes are tracked properly. Let's break it down step by step. Create a repository on GitHub. This is the very first step you should done. This is where your project files will live. It's the starting point for the version control. Once your repo is created, you need to clone it to your local machine to start working on it. Now that you have a local copy, you can now edit files, add new ones or delete old ones. Before committing your changes, you need to stack them using Git Add Commit, which prepares the files to be commit. This step records a snapshot of your stack changes, so you always have a reference point that Git changes. Push change to GitHub. Finally, once you have committed your changes locally, you push them to a remote repository on GitHub, where they can be shared with other or backed up. So in a nutshell, you are always moving between your local and remote repositories, making changes, tagging, committing and pushing them to GitHub. Now let's dive deeper into core GitHub command you will be using. Here are the two most important commands in Git: Git add and file name. This tag your files, essentially telling Git that you are ready to commit the changes to it. Think of tagging like preparing a draft before publishing it. You can also generate multiple files at once using git add dot to add all changes. Git commit -m and comment. This creates a commit which is like taking a snapshot of your project at the moment. Your commit message should always describe the changes you made so that it's easy to track the project's history. Alright, let's proceed with the live demonstration. In the previous video, I have already covered how to clone a repository. Now we are inside the folder named Netflix clone and we will be adding file into it. First we will add the index.html and style.css files. Let's start by initializing the meta tag in index.html file and setting the title to Netflix. We have also added a h1 tag that with the text welcome to Netflix. Next we will run the git add command for index.html, but at this point we might encounter an error. This is a common issue and many developers might not be familiar with it. The error occurs because we have already created a folder locally, and when we clone the repository, it creates an additional folder inside the existing one. Since we are still in the previous folder, which is Netflix clone, any changes need to be made inside the repository folder. To resolve this, we need to navigate to the correct directory. Let's switch to the proper folder by using the cd command followed by the folder name Netflix clone, and after pressing tab it will auto complete the folder name for us. Now we can run the git add index.html command successfully. Finally, let's check the status of our changes by typing git status and reviewing what the current status shows. Now let's understand adding and committing file. Here how you can see you can keep track of what's happening in your project. Git status. This command shows the current status of your repository. It will tell you which files are untracked, which are stacked, and which have been modified but not stacked. Types of message you might see includes untraced, new file that haven't been added to the repository. Modified, files that haven't been stacked. Stacked, files ready to be committed. Unmodified, files that are up to date. Now let's take a closer look at the status in details. After running the git status command, we encounter a message indicating that we have added the index.html file. It's listed under changes to be committed because it has been stacked, and that's why it's marked in green. Meanwhile, the style.css file is still untracked because we haven't added it yet, which is why it's not listed as tagged. Next, let's make a change to index.html file but not add it into a staging area. Now when we run git status again, we can see that index.html is marked as modified, indicating that changes has been made but not tagged. Let's add both files now and check the status. To add the file, we will use Git Add Commit. Once executed, you will notice that both the files have been stacked and are highlighted in the green. We will use the command git commit -m following by a meaningful message for the commit. After committing, let's check the status again, and you will see that the commit was successful. This message will indicate that your branch is ahead of origin by one commit. What does this mean? It signifies that our local branch has one additional commit that hasn't been pushed to the remote repository yet. To reflect this change on GitHub, you will notice that the index.html and style.css files aren't showing up in the repository just yet. To push our changes to GitHub, we will use the command git push origin main. This will update the remote repository with our committed changes. Once your changes are committed, you need to sync them with GitHub. That's where the push command comes in. Git push origin main. This pushes your committed change from your local machine to your remote. Now your project is safely backed up online and available to collaborators. Now let's type the command git push origin main. It might take a few moments to process, but once complete, the changes are successfully pushed. Let's head over to GitHub and refresh the page. Now you can see the index.html and style.css have been uploaded, indicating that our repository is now fully synced with the remote repository. If we click on commit, you can also view the commit history. However, if you prefer to view the history directly in the terminal, you can use the git log command. This will display a detailed log of all the commit made to the project, allow you to track change over time. Additionally, when collaborating with others, you may need to pull the changes from remote repository to ensure your local versions is up to date. To do this, simply use the command git pull origin main. This fetches any update from your remote repository and merge them into the local copy, ensuring you are working with the latest version. Let's now see how the git pull command works. If we have made changes directly into the GitHub, for example, let's edit the readme.md file by adding few lines and commit those changes, then this modification won't yet be reflected in the local version. To sync everything, we will use the git pull origin main command. This will pull down the changes from the remote repository, and now we see the updated content in your local folder. And that's it. This demonstrates how both git push and git pull works in keeping your repository and local environment in sync. We have covered the entire GitHub workflow from cloning a repository to pulling and pushing the changes. I hope this demo helped you understanding how Git works, and now you can confidently manage your project using these essential commands. In the next video, we will dive deeper into advanced Git topic like branching and merging. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it with the others who might get benefit. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.